got what you were after, so pay up.
You're crying in the rain, Pally.
Guess who's waking up over here?
Time to cash out.
We could get it over with.
Maybe cons kill people without looking them in the face. But I ain't a fink. Dig? You've made your last delivery, kid. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
What is up, everybody? You heard me correctly. This is my voice. I've decided to, interact with the community a little bit more, interact with the subscribers, and take this channel a whole new direction. I will be using my voice from now on, unless, I'm being a complete fucking lazy ass. But here is Fallout New Vegas. I was inspired by the recent Amazon Prime TV show. I'm not sponsored. And a lot of people probably are wondering what Fallout New Vegas is like based on, spoilers, the ending and seeing the strip out in the distance at the end. But we're going to do a playthrough of Fallout New Vegas, and we're going to see where we go from there. Alright, I'm going for sort of a gunslinger build.
You're awake. How about that? Whoa, easy there, easy. You've been out cold a couple of days now. Why don't you just relax?
Hello, Doc.
Get your barrels. Let's see what the damage is. How about your name? Can you tell me your name?
Alright, we're going for a gunslinger build. Now, a couple things. Fallout New Vegas, yes, it is old. It looks old. As a matter of fact, I'm only running mods that do bug fixes, and some of the textures and some of the meshes. This game was made in quite the hurry. They had less than 2 years to make this game, which is why it reuses a lot of assets, uses the same engine as Fallout 3. And because of the fact that it didn't have an extra 6 months to do a lot of bug fixing, it became a really, really buggy game. That's his biggest downfall. Now, there's a lot more positives to it after you get it working. If you don't have the capacity to mod, and if you have an Xbox 360, you can probably find a copy of it somewhere or download it. I'm not sure if Xbox Live still provides download services to the Xbox 360, but the Xbox 360 had the most stable build out of all the different platforms it was released on. But I do have all the DLCs as well, so we'll be playing around with those. And like I said, we're going to go for sort of a gunslinger build. I'm going to go for a... What's a cowboy name? We're going to go with Teddy McIntyre. Teddy McIntyre. Alright. And the UI, by the way...
You can't say it's what I'd have paid for you, but if that's your name, that's your name. I'm Doc Nixon. Welcome to Good Springs. Now...
A little quiet, isn't it? Now, my UI I changed to blue because it's much easier to see. One of the criticisms, besides the bugs in this game, was that everything was washed over with orange. And one of my texture packs does fix that a bit, but there's still that desert sort of, sepia tone that's...
I hope you don't mind, but I had to go rooting around there in your noggin to pull all the bits of lead out. I take pride in my needlework, but you'd better tell me if I left anything out of place.
I still gotta adjust the voice.
How'd I do?
A little bit louder. So turn that up a little bit, maybe this as well.
Well, I got most of it right anyway. Stuff that mattered.
not going to go crazy with this. We're mostly focused on the gameplay, but for customization, it is the pretty standard Fallout customization. If you haven't played Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas before, it's a little less intuitive, and you know, it is a nearly 20-year-old game, so give it cut it some slack. You know, it's just, oh my god, that angle. It is buggy, it is old, its age very much shows, but honestly, it is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. I'm just gonna change the hair. Sarge. Let's go to the Propator, why not? Facial hair, men's man, ladies man, swashbuckler. He's a young dude, let's go with swashbuckler, why not?
Okay. No sense keeping you in bed anymore. Let's see if we can get you on your feet.
One of the more hilarious bugs that I know you can find
Good.
that you can find footage of is this guy's head actually spins while he's talking to you. It's really bizarre and uncanny.
It ain't a race.
Take it slow. I want to jump. I want to take all your stuff. Give me that. Give me all your stuff. Give me that skill magazine. Give me all this. I'm going to sell all this. Rob an old man blind. More stuff. Now this playthrough is going to be kind of semi-serious, semi-walkthrough-ish. I have over 2,000 hours playing this game, not on Steam, but mostly on Xbox 360 when it first came out, and I recently got back into it, and I just wanted to kind of share it with the rest of you. So I hope y'all enjoy. And if you're wondering why I'm doing this, it's because there is no downside to actually robbing this old man of all of his possessions, including the money that's literally just sitting on this bookcase here. I'm going to take all his food, all his medicine, all his books, his weapons, his tools. On my last playthrough, I actually found some really expensive rifle rounds in it somehow. I don't know why it gave us like some mid-game rounds in the beginning, but it did. Take all your food, take all your whiskey. And as always, if there is anything you'd like to criticize me on, go ahead and do that in the comments. I don't mind at all. More engagement is more better, and I want to hear what your guys' opinions are. So, over encumbered. Just going to do the slow walk on back. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and skip to the end. Now, those of you who are new to the Fallout universe, your special stats. You got your strength, you got your perception, you have your endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. Now, these will determine how your skills are when you first start out. They'll also determine certain dialogue options. I know when your strength, I believe, is higher, you can intimidate people. When your perception, it's very situational sometimes in dialogue options, but sometimes your character will just notice things a bit more the higher the skill set is. And honestly, any of these that get maxed out is almost kind of game breaking. Strength, of course, you can just carry just an enormous amount of stuff. You can intimidate people a lot, but it's probably the least necessary to max out. Maybe even perception. Perception, it allows you to see things from a further distance. Like on your radar, you can see enemies at a further distance. So you'll notice them in the bottom left as soon as we're done with this little, not really tutorial, but this intro sequence. Endurance, at a high endurance, you're damn near impervious. Charisma is very broken. When you max that out, you can practically talk your way out of anything. Intelligence, the higher your intelligence, the faster you learn, therefore the faster you level up. You can hack better. You generally get a lot more out of intelligence. Agility, your character actually moves faster. And luck. In this game in particular, luck, I believe, is the most broken, because when you max out your luck, you will not lose a single game. Unless you're trying to lose, anytime you gamble or play Caravan, we'll get to that later, you won't lose unless you're trying to lose. Alright? Now, for this build, as a gunslinger, Let's say he's got 6 strength. You know, just because he's pretty rough and tumble. He can hold his own. He can lift his own. He's worked in the fields before. Perception. Now, in this game, there's VATS. And VATS is also kind of a broken mechanic. But you don't really need a whole lot of perception for VATS specifically. What you do need is a lot of agility, because that determines how many action points or how many times you can shoot at somebody. So let's get into this. And luck also determines how often you critical strike. So we're going to go with a lot of luck and a lot of agility and a little bit of strength for this gunslinger build. Now, the opposite end of raising your stats pretty high is lowering them, and oftentimes they're absolutely hilarious. It really sucks having 1 strength. It goes all the way down to 1, and it sucks. You can't carry hardly anything. You travel pretty light. Lowered perception, I've never done that, to be honest, but I'm not certain what would be funny with that, because you're basically blind as a bat. 1 endurance is if you enjoy being a masochist. I have a friend who does that a lot. Shout out to him. 1 charisma, you're basically just this drooling kind of brick wall. Same with intelligence. Intelligence at 1 is also kind of hilarious. I know in earlier Fallout games, Fallout 1 and 2, if you have 1 intelligence, it heavily affects the way you talk and the way people treat you, because everyone realizes you're practically brain dead at 1 intelligence. And it does in this game as well, but not to that extent. I think it's Fallout 1 where your 1 intelligence means you basically talk like a caveman, or you hardly talk at all. You just make a bunch of odd grunt noises. So we're going to go with this build right here.
Yeah, that's a pretty standard score there, but after what you've been through, I'd say that's great news. What do you say you take a seat in my couch and we go through a couple of questions? See if your dogs are still barking. All right. I'm gonna say a word. I want you to say the first thing that comes to mind. Dog.
Now this psychology exam, I'm not 100% certain what it does. I think it kind of helps determine what your starting skills specialization will be. You can put points in whatever. These don't really matter. It's mostly the special that matters. So dog. Dog's
House.
tools to a cowboy. A house. What is a house to a cowboy? A real gunslinger. A shelter.
Night.
Night. The cowboys ain't much for silencers, but night. Campfire.
Enemy.
Enemy. Bribe, crush, stab, Swiss cheese, vaporize, reasonable. So it's Swiss cheese.
Light.
Light. Being flash, inspiration, torch. Torch, I guess.
Mother.
Mother. Caretaker, jeans, cookie jar, tantrum, tattle, regret, human shield. The cookie jar. Why not?
Okay. Now I got a few statements. I want you to tell me how much they sound like something you'd say. First one. Conflict just ain't in my nature.
Let's go disagree.
I ain't given to relying on others for support.
Should we do a lone cowboy? Companions are very useful in this game. I don't like the whole lone cowboy thing in a playthrough. It's really cool in movies and television, but I'm going to disagree on that.
I'm always fixing to be the center of attention.
Is he fixing to be the center of attention? Is he a Buster Scruggs type cowboy, or is he... Or is he an NPC? Let's go with agree.
I'm slow to embrace new ideas.
Nah, he's open to these things.
I charge in to deal with my problems head on.
Yes.
Almost done here. What do you say you have a look at this? Tell me what you see.
Broken chain.
Okay. How about this one?
I'm too embarrassed to say what that looks like.
Last one.
2 bears high-fiving? Just kidding, it's not. That is an Easter egg later on in the game. Bearded man.
Well, that's all she wrote. I don't have nothing to compare it to, so maybe you'd better just have a look at the results. See if it all seems right to you.
Survival's okay. I haven't really focused on it before. Speech is basically just broken, and you can max out this regardless of your charisma or intelligence level. Kind of want to go with barter, just so we can get some extra starting cash. Don't have to level it up later either. Repair is very useful. You can get a companion that acts as your personal repairman, and he's pretty awesome. Let's go with smooth talking cowboy gunslinger.
Before I turn you loose, I need one more thing from you. You got a form for you to fill out so I can get a sense of your medical history. Just a formality. Ain't like I expect to find you got a family history of getting shot in the head.
Okay, so there's 2 traits you can start off with. The vast majority of them have some kind of downside and some kind of really good side. For example, all weapons have a 3% chance to critically hit, but equipment condition decays 15% faster. You can offset this by having a high repair skill, but it's still a big downside early on in the game because you don't want your weapons and armor to become broken and useless. I don't often go with most of these. What I do like is trigger discipline. You are more accurate, but you are more slow. And this other one I really like is called Wild Wasteland. Now, Wild Wasteland, its downside is that it takes up one of these traits. The upside is that you get to experience all of the insane Easter eggs that go down. So I really want you guys to see that. It's very entertaining. I find it very entertaining, so we're going to go with that one.
All right, I guess that about does it. Come with me, I'll see you out.
Alright. Oh god, I'm still slow. Took all your stuff. Oop, and hat. Give me that. Tattered old hat. Oh, I didn't take these. Give me all your medicine. Give me all your cigarettes. And weapons.
Here, these are yours. Was all you had on you when you was brought in. I hope you don't mind, but I gave the note a look. I thought it might help me find a next of kin. But it was just something about a platinum chip. Well, if you're heading back out there, you ought to have this. They call it a Pip-Boy. I grew up in one of them vaults they made before the war. We all got one. Ain't much use to me now, but you might want such a thing after what you've been through. I know what it's like having something taken from you. And put this on too, so the locals don't pick on you for lacking modesty. Never was much my style anyway.
Thanks for patching me up,
Don't
Doc.
mention it. It's what I'm here for. You should talk to Sunny Smiles before you leave town. She can help you learn to fend for yourself in the desert. She'll likely be at the saloon. I reckon some of the other folks at the saloon might be able to help you out too. And the metal fella, Victor, who pulled you out of your grave.
Victor.
Anyway, you ever get hurt out there, you come right back. I'll fix you up. But try not to get killed anymore.
Will do. Now, this is hardcore mode. Hardcore mode makes it so that you take more damage. You have to worry about water, staying hydrated. You have to worry about food, not starving to death. You have to worry about sleep. That's important because when you fast travel, those go down. So it makes traveling, it makes gameplay generally harder. This is a pretty casual playthrough, like most people will probably do. So we're going to go with no. Oh god! It's not that bad. Okay, so here in this Pip-Boy, we can see our status. It's our health. We can see our rads. Poison resistance. Why is my poison resistance? Anyways, I'm not sure what EFF means. I'm pretty sure it's just whatever the clothing you're currently wearing gives you bonuses. In this case, we're wearing the Vault jumpsuit. Our special stats, just in case we lose track of what we have. You can improve these later on with perks and also in-game buyable, what are they called? Implants. Yeah, there's a special doctor who boosts that for you. There's our weapons. I'm not going to read all that. We're going to equip 10mm pistol. Now, the Gunrunner's Arsenal DLC, I believe, is what gives you all these extra weapons and stuff. It just adds new and also beloved weapons from Fallout 3 to the game. We're gonna go with lightweight leather armor because we get more damage resistance, DR, from it. Now we get 8, and we're going to pre-war hat because we get a bonus to perception. Actually, let's go with the Armored Vault 13 jumpsuit, which I believe is actually a reference to one of the first 2 games of Fallout. I believe the first Fallout game. So okay. I'm still so slow. Victor! Victor, don't go nowhere. Leave. Okay, no, he's not going to wait. No mail to take from you. Oop. Actually, we can go dumpster diving real quick. What's in the dumpster? Ooh, money and materials. Good. Alright, come here, Mr. Storeman. Chet.
You must be the one Doc Mitchell was patching up. Way I heard it, I didn't think you'd be walking out of that office. I've got plenty of supplies for sale. Even got some weapon mod. If you're hurting for caps, I've also got boxes of surplus ammo in the Candy.
Don't care about surplus ammo too much. I'm gonna keep these because I enjoy collecting, you know, unique weapons and stuff. We're gonna sell that. I can sell the whiskey and the wine. Don't really need it. Might need some components later, so I'm gonna do that. We're gonna scroll down. We're gonna look for these cards, and I'll explain these later. But I really want the cards. And the bobby pin as well. If you're wondering why I'm not using the radio, it's because it has copyrighted music in it. I don't want to get copyright struck for having that in there, so we're just gonna avoid using the music. I do highly recommend the music soundtrack of this game. It is very, very good. And it's fitting if you want to play it on, like, say, your music streaming service, whatever you have, while I play this. It's actually kind of a nice touch. I do want to pick up the shovel, so I can go rob graves. Stimpaks, the varmint rifle. You can get a free one, but I want to pick this up right now so that I can repair the free one we're about to get, and that's about it. So that's our starting budget.
Pleasure doing business with. Take
Yep,
it easy.
Thank you. Other than being a salesperson, you're useless. Loading bench and a crafting bench over there. Hello, Easy Pete.
Howdy. What can Easy Pete do for you?
Do you know anything about the people who attacked me?
The one in the fancy suit seemed to be calling the shots. That's as much as I know. Other folks in town might know more. Word of advice, though, if you ever catch up with him, watch out. The man's got cold eyes like a snake. Can't be trusted, I'd say. Was
Why
a
are you called Easy
prospector
Pete?
until I decided to settle here to get away from the NCR. Now, we'll just take it easy and help out with the Brahmin and Bighorners.
What's wrong with the
Don't
NCR?
get me wrong. The NCR's got a lot of decent folk in it. It's just that they make you part of them whether you like it or not. Towns like Good Springs and Prim don't stay independent for long. Not if you've got something the NCR wants. Still, the NCR keeps the Legion away.
Tell me about the Legion.
They're slavers, led by a guy named Caesar, or Caesar. Not sure how you're supposed to say it. A couple of years ago, they tried to take over Hoover Dam, but the NCR beat them back. The NCR didn't or couldn't finish the job, though. The Legion's got its strength back and is getting ready for another round at the dam. My money's still on the NCR winning, but you never know. We've been hearing stories about legionaries on the Nevada side of the river, so keep a gun handy. You don't want to get caught by them.
What's so important about Hoover Dam?
The dam powers a lot of New Vegas, and then there's all that clean water lying in Lake Mead, too. Anybody who owns the dam owns the territory.
Victor! I have a feeling that Easy Pete is just like, EP stands for exposition person, because that was a lot.
Howdy, partner. Might I say you're looking fit as a fiddle?
Thanks for digging me out of that grave.
Don't mention it. I'm always ready to lend a helping hand to a stranger in need.
How did you happen to find me?
I was out for a stroll that night when I heard the commotion up the old bone orchard. Saw what looked like a bunch of bad eggs, so I laid low. Once they'd run off, I dug you up to see if you were still kicking. Turns out you were. So I hauled you off to the dock right quick.
Never seen a robot like you before.
I'm a Securitron. Robco Security Model 2060B. If you ever see any of my brothers, tell them Victor says howdy.
Alright, goodbye. And for those of you wondering, yes, the texture pack does affect his face, makes it a little bit brighter, it gives it color. It doesn't actually look like this. I might put a screenshot in the editing phase, just so you guys can see the comparison.
Happy trails!
If you guys wanted to see what I look like, what's the button? There it is. There you go. That's what the outfit looks like. Hello.
Cheyenne, stay. Don't worry, she won't bite unless I tell her to.
Doc Mitchell said you could teach me to survive in the desert.
Yeah, I guess there's a thing or two I could show you. Sounds like you need all the help you can get after what they done to you. Meet me outside, behind the saloon.
I always wondered, are those like hockey pads or football pads she's wearing? I don't know. Follow the dog. Oh, hello. She's gonna give me a free weapon. She's also magical. She's gonna make some bottles appear over there.
Now,
Yep,
see the
there they are.
sarsaparilla bottles on the fence there? Take this and try.
So I'm gonna interrupt her real quick. Did I not buy it? Where's the one I bought?
to hit a couple
Whatever.
of them.
Okay, so you just want to aim down the sights
That's
and
the
then
right
shoot
idea.
a couple of them.
Sight.
Oops. 2,000 hours playing this. That was bad.
Try crouching down and staying still.
And
It'll
do
help your
this.
Nice shot. Well, that's a start. But I don't reckon you came to me to learn to fight sarsaparilla bottles. Tell you what, I gotta go chase.
Alright, I'm in.
Follow me.
It's an early combat experience, and if you want to run faster, you have to put away your weapon. Hurry up, Sonny. I know you got default 555 on agility and everything, so I strafe faster than you. Good springs. I believe the sign is also changed. Trust me, the game looks uglier without the mods, but, you know. I have no mods that affect gameplay.
We got some geckos to clear out. Let's see if we can get a little closer.
I'm not gonna follow you, you're even slower while you're sneaking. One. Got one, and the other one. Not too hard. There are larger ones that are a bit more dangerous, but we're not gonna face those anytime soon.
See? You're getting there. There's two more.
Sure, I'll come with you.
Come with me.
Must have done this so many times. Now we're gonna do VATS. There we are. It's VATS, Vault Tech Assisted Targeting System. I'm not really gonna read all this for you, but basically, you just select whatever you want to shoot. Where's the? Can I not get the mouse over the torso? Hello. Okay, whatever. And that's the AP down there. Too low. Got one. There we go. Good shot, yeah. All that. Hide, get that meat. Hurry up before they run off to the next one. You can actually hop over this. I believe it's right over here. There it is. You should beat them to it. So we can save this lady before she dies. She's actually quite tough. Let me... Got him. Nice shooting, Tex. Now, there's unique dialogue if she or the dog dies when you talk to Sunny, and then you can talk to her.
Holy moly. If you hadn't come here like you done, I'd be a goner for sure. I came up here to draw water, but here, You should have what I got. You look thirsty.
And you get a little bonus to your reputation for saving this person. Reputation will affect how people in every faction will react to you. If your reputation is bad enough, they'll straight up attack you on sight. If it's good, they'll do things like give you discounts and free stuff.
Now that was some good work. Even got a little exciting there at the end. Here's a little spending money for the trouble. One more thing I wanted to show you. Thought I might teach you about
Yeah, why not?
Alright then. We'll need a couple ingredients to get started. Gonna want some xander root and a brock flower. I know I've seen brock flowers growing up at the graveyard, and I seem to remember there being xander root over by the schoolhouse. Bring those on back to me, and we'll get cooking.
Alright, cool. And at this point, you can actually fast travel. So let's go to data, world map, Good Springs. Gonna go to Selenius. Have some gecko hides. Alright. Pre-war hat, we'll just buy that real quick. And the leather armor, why not? Just to repair our stuff. Long barrel. I should get this for free, might as well. No, really need ammo. So.
Pleasure doing business with.
We're gonna go over to the schoolhouse. We're gonna rob everyone's mail along the way. Oop, some food there for you. The mailman who robs people of mail. Good old Teddy. I'll take it. My hat. Just repair that. I wonder what that looks like. Yeah, it looks okay. I just don't have the whole cowboy aesthetic going down yet. More like Mad Max going on. We'll stick with that for now. Some bugs to fight. Hello. Got one. Poke your head out. Got two. Now, if you're getting into this game after playing Fallout 4, just know that the gunplay isn't going to be as refined. The one thing that I like over Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4 is the gunplay. But, you know, it's a dated game with dated mechanics and... Oops, missed. And just really buggy and kind of weird, but there's still a lot of charm to this game. Come on, where's the next one? Now you're in here. Oop. If your gun reaches a point where the repair level isn't all that great, the condition rather, you will start to do things like that where it jams and your character will take a little bit longer to reload. That's why having high repair skill is really useful. That just doesn't really happen very much. Or having money so you can just, you know, buy all the parts and weapons you need to repair your stuff. So I think that's all of them. Take this real quick. Get some money. Whatever I can out of these school desks. Now, the Salesman Weekly, the Lad's Life, the Programmer's Digest, those are skill magazines that give you a temporary boost to your skills. So go over here. I don't have the science skill, but if I look at my stats, skills, science 16. Then I go over to aid, scroll on down to Programmer's Digest. That'll give me just enough. So I'm going to do that. We're going to go through how to unlock terminals. Now I'm going to skip over this because it's boring to read, but basically what you're doing is you're going to search for brackets. What I usually do is I actually go down to my last attempt first, and then I start looking for brackets if I can't figure it out, but it's usually pretty easy to do these, so I'm just going to go for a couple of brackets to show you what that's like. We got dud removed, so that removed this word here, and it tells you that's not what the password was. Go and find this bracket, dud removed, this bracket, dud removed, and eventually you'll find one, especially in the easier ones, that restore your attempts. So now that we know what we're looking for, let's just try looking. So in this case, out of these 7 letters, one of them was correct. So we're going to look for something that has a lot of the same letters, like showing. Okay, only one. Booming? Ooh, lockout internet. Let's look for another bracket. Dead removed. Go back into it. Now you can't skip this part because of the security reset when you do this. It just kind of slows you down. So all you do is just keep clicking and clicking. There we go. Okay, so growing. Oh, 3 out of 7. Oh, it's not greatly. Granted. Oh dear. Bracket. Bracket. Allowances replenished. That's what I was looking for. Maybe created? Crafted. No? Crowded? No. Crazies. So we did created, crafted, crazies. Crowded? Ah, there we go. I'm not very good at this game. 2,000 hours. Disengage lock. Now instead of regular lock picking, we can just open the safe. Ah, yes, we got a stealth boy. There's a chance that this isn't going to be here. We're just going to take all of it. And we're good. Now we can go to the graveyard. Now, if you want, you can actually stop by Victor's shack over here. Why is he facing the door? Ooh, more stuff. Ooh, nice guns. What are you doing, Victor?
Howdy, partner.
Howdy. You know who those men were
Can't
that
say
attacked?
that I'm familiar with the rascals. Some of the fine folks in town might be able to help you out with that.
How'd you end up in Good Springs?
I moseyed into town, 10, 15 years ago. Before that, I can't quite seem to recall. Odd. Anyway, it's a right peaceful town, and I reckon it's as fine a place to settle as any. Happy trails!
Alright, goodbye. Then you can actually go into his shack and take all his shit as well. I don't know why he needs a bed, but... Let's see, some scrap metal. I don't want to be over encumbered this far from the general store. Cup, fishing battery, ammunition, scrap metal. I don't know why he needs to clean his... Did he try using these? I don't know. Oh, yep, there's the temporary. It wears off eventually. Weapon repair kit, that's good. Desk, paperweight. And that's it.
Howdy, partner.
Howdy. I just robbed you. Let's see what's in here. Nothing. Just want to head up to the graveyard next. Give me all your stuff. Ooh. Another one. Nothing in here. And I believe you can also go into the buildings and take their stuff, but that leaves bad reputation for you, so you don't want to do that. Let's go rob some graves. And just so you guys know, there's almost always going to be this little bark scorpion just kind of hanging out up here. Don't know why, he's just here. Hey, bud. Ugly thing. Didn't have any poison glands this time. Let's preserve my 9mm varmint rifle. Blow flash is so ugly. Good, missed that one. Come on, sit still. Damn it. I swear, I'm not that bad. 2,000 hours. There we go. We're gonna rob some. Oh, not Jimmy. We're gonna rob some graves. Get some drugs in this guy's grave. No meat. Open this grave. Ooh, shotgun. Cool. Here's a snow globe, which is collectible. Some collectors will pay dearly for them. That's important. There's my grave. Ooh, get out of here.
2,000 hours.
There's nothing really in it. You can take one of these distinctive cigarette butts as your first clue. Oh dear. I'm over encumbered. Let's drink some dirty water if we got some. No? Since that's still what it is. Nuka-Colas? No? Alright. No, we're good. And they're just kind of hanging out here before they shot me. Some rock flour. We're gonna go take a look at that over there soon. There's the strip itself. Another single shotgun, alright. Ah, I can't. Okay. Just gonna repair these two together. There we go. Now we're good. 357 Magnum rounds. Neat. Hey, Sonny.
Let me see what you got. Yeah, these'll do just fine. Just fine. Alright now. We're gonna be making something folks on the trail call healing powder. Go on over to that campfire now. Give it a try.
Alright, we're gonna make healing powder. There we go.
Hey, that's not bad, see? All it takes to make a recipe is the right ingredients and the right know-how. Sometimes it won't be a campfire you need. Might need to do some work on your guns and ammo, maybe. Important thing to get is it's all the same idea. You just need to find the right place to set up shop. Workbench or reloading bench, whatever. Well, I hope that's enough to get you started. I'm heading back now. Hope I didn't miss anything good on the jukebox. Cheyenne would never forgive me. Hey, do me a favor. Trudy, she's the bartender up at the Prospector. Kind of the town mom. She likes to meet newcomers. She'd be cross with me if I didn't ask you to poke your head in and say hi.
Alright, cool. Thank you. Now just an example of things you can make. You can make all sorts of, you know, cocktails. It's basically potion making in this game if you ever played Skyrim. Also food making. Just general RPG stuff. Like you make caravan lunch is pretty good. Especially early on. You don't need a whole lot of survival. As a matter of fact, if you find all this stuff early on, you can just start making it. That's life. I can make some more stuff. Now I've got better food with less rads. Now rads, it means radiation really, but it could just be used for food that makes you sick as well. There's one thing I want to pick up from over here real quick. It's going to be our first major Easter egg. We've got this random fridge out here. What could it be? Suave gambler hat? Perception +1, whatever. And you can repair it with the pre-war hat. All it is basically is a reference to Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, where Indiana Jones jumps into a lead-lined fridge that was popular in the 50s and saves himself from a nuclear test. So apparently in this universe that didn't go so well. Now as a female it actually changes to a different hat. It's like a little feathered cap. I'm not actually sure what that kind of hat is called, but this is just a fedora. Oh, hello.
I'm done being nice. If you don't hand Ringo over soon, I'm going to get my friends and we're burning this town to the ground. Got it?
We'll keep that in mind. Now, if you're not going to buy something, get out.
What the hell is your problem?
Okay. Cool. Hello, Trudy.
Well, you've been causing quite a stir. Glad I finally got to meet you. Welcome to the...
What was that all
Looks
about?
like our little town got itself dragged in the middle of something we don't want anything to do with. About a week ago, this traitor, Ringo, comes into town. Survivor of an attack, he says. So we gave him a place to lie low. We didn't actually expect anyone to come after him. He's holed up at the abandoned gas station up the hill.
Why not just kill Cobb?
You mean murder him? That's not our way, even if Cobb is scum. He can bluster and threaten all he wants.
What are you gonna do?
Some of the others, like Sonny, will probably stand up for Ringo if he asks for help, which he hasn't. Personally, I hope he sneaks out of town one night and takes the powder gangers with him.
Powder gangers?
Chain gangs, really. The NCR brought them in from California to work on the rail lines. Problem is, it turns out that giving convicts a bunch of dynamite and blasting powder isn't the best idea. It was a big escape not too long ago. Some of them stuck together so they could make trouble. That's what we're dealing with now.
What you got for sale?
Got
It's all foods. Actually might be useful. Meeting people. Nuka-Cola. Moonshine. Salesman Weekly. These are actually very useful for what we're about to do.
Thanks.
What happens if I help Ringo?
If you were able to get Ringo out of this mess, you'd have a decent reputation around Good Springs. I'd even set you up with a discount. Of course, helping Ringo would also make the powder gangers mad. And they've got a lot of friends out there.
I'm trying to track down the people who attacked me. Know anything about
Not
them?
much, other than they're a bunch of freeloaders who expected a few rounds on the house. I was able to get them to pay up, though. Of course, one of the great cons did knock my radio to the floor by accident, and it hasn't been working since.
Did they say where they were going?
They were having some kind of argument about it, but the guy in the checkered coat kept shushing them. Sounded like they came in from the north through Quarry Junction. If that's the case, I can't say I blame them for not wanting to go back.
Why is that?
That whole area is overrun with the kind of critters that just get mad if you shoot them. Merchants avoid that whole stretch of I-15 like it's radioactive, which it could be for all I know.
So where are they headed?
I didn't hear exactly, but the leader was talking about the strip. Fellow wants to get there and avoid the 15, he'd have to go east. Take Highway 93 up.
Want me to take a look at your broken radio?
Sure, the outside looks okay, but I think something broke on the inside. There'd be caps in it for you. I do like to hear what's going on in the world. And that Mr. New Vegas seems like such a gentleman.
Do you know the robot that rescued me?
I know that thing as much as anyone else around here. It mostly keeps to itself, which is just fine by me.
What does he actually do around here?
Other than rolling around once in a while, it doesn't do anything useful as far as I can tell. I don't know why it took an interest in you, but I'd be careful. It's never helped anyone before.
You don't like it?
It acts friendly enough, but I don't trust that whole cheerful cowboy act. I find it all very creepy.
Goodbye.
Be careful out there.
Let's level up. So I know we're going to need explosives. Just know that for a fact. 4 more skill points. Probably going to want to put it in lockpick, because lockpick's pretty good. So we got confirmed bachelor. These are perks. Every other level you get to pick a perk. So level 2, level 3 you only get to pick skills. Level 4 you'll be able to pick another perk and your skills. Confirmed bachelor, more damage against male opponents. Intense training. This is one of those perks that increases your special, and you can pick whichever one you want. So Lady Killer is more damage against female opponents. Now, the Lady Killer and the Confirmed Bachelor, they actually have unique dialogue options you can use, so they're really good. We have Rapid Reload, so we can reload pretty quick. It's pretty useful for a cowboy build. We might go with that. Skill magazines last 3 times longer with retention, and Swift Learner. You get an additional 10% experience points. This is actually very useful to have early on. Might do that for level 4 if we don't have anything else, so I'm going to go with Rapid Reload. Now, what's my repair skill? Skills. Okay, we're going to need... Pretty much every skill check here is going to be pretty low. It's going to be like 25, so if we just go find fixing things. Repair her radio. There we go.
Feeling thirsty?
Fixed your radio.
Yeah, I heard it turn right back on after you got done tinkering with it. Here's some caps for the work.
That's it? Are you implying that I've done shoddy work?
Not at all. I'm never sure how much is normally charged for this sort of thing. Here's some additional caps. That should be enough. Now, how about spendings?
I already did. Goodbye.
Be careful.
Hello.
Or at all. Hello. So here's a reloading bench which you can use to make ammunition. It's actually possible to find these in Doc's house for some reason, but you know, you can make all sorts of stuff. And over here at the workbench, you can make other stuff. You can actually recycle some energy cells. Make, well, that's cosmic knife. That's these are DLC weapons. Doctor's bag. I had the forceps. I could have made one of these with all the stuff in Doc's house. Dog-hide belt. I think this is... I'm not even sure what this is for, to be honest. Let me know down in the comments what the dog-hide belt is for. Interesting. And you make stim packs. Your science does have to be pretty high to make those, but it is very useful if you want to do a science build. You can make chemicals and all sorts of stuff. So, I'm going to check the second dumpster. Scrap it. Let's check out mailbox. Do that. We're going to talk to Johnny Ringo. We're going to go over Caravan. I know you guys really don't want to go over Caravan, but it's not that hard. Really, it's not that hard to win at Caravan. Drink that Nuka-Cola. And that... Where is it? Sunset Sarsaparilla. Some extra cash. Okay, so I'm going to hit a tactical quick save. Hey.
That's close enough. Who are you, and what do you want with me?
Why, Johnny Ringo. You look like somebody just walked over your grave.
Sorry about the gun. You just caught me off guard, that's all. We got off to a bad start. What say we start over with a friendly game of Caravan? Yeah. He doesn't look very tough, though. I hear he's afraid I'll shoot him down from one of the windows when I see him. And he's right. I'll have a much bigger problem once his friends show up. There's no way I could handle all of them in a gunfight.
What are you gonna do about it?
I'm gonna lay low for as long as I can, assuming the town doesn't throw me to the wolves. I've got no chance against the gang on my own.
Maybe I can help.
We just end up sharing the same grave.
I'll ask around. Alright. Actually, before I go, there's more stuff I can take. Sunset sarsaparillas. What's in the sack? Stew. Store your stew in a sack, bro? That's kind of weird. Looking here. Come on. There we go. Maze. Yep. There we go. Maze. Register bottle caps. Can't steal these, but I will take a carton of cigarettes, and you can open this. Oop. I like that skill. Let's go to... I guess I don't have one. God, excuse me. Run back, talk to Sonny.
Hi there. Sticking around.
Gonna help Ringo take down the powder gangers.
Say no more. I'm in.
Oh, that was easy.
Joe Cobb talks about leaving us alone if we hand over Ringo. But I know his type. He and his friends will. However, between you, me, and Ringo, we aren't exactly. If you could convince... I know Easy Pete's got a stock of dynamites. Finally, there's a good chance we'll...
Convince Trudy.
A silver tongue would help.
You need
Convincing
25,
Trudy that we had a good plan to win the fight would also help.
25 speech.
I don't think give is in
25
Chet's
barter
vocabulary.
for Chet.
Even with the town at stake, he's...
And 25
Easy Pete's pretty
explosives
protective of his dynamite.
for Easy
You'd have
Pete.
to convince...
I was planning on sitting this one
And
out,
also
but for some reason, I can't help but like you. I'm with you. Let me have a word with a few other folks, and I'll see if I can't... While everyone does own a gun, we could stand to be a little better equipped. The general store probably has what we need in stock.
You can actually convince me to come with you to go take out the powder gangers by sneaking around. I've never actually done that, so if you've done that, please let me know in the comments how that is. Okay, come here, Chet.
Hello.
My barter is 31, so we'll do
You looking
that.
to buy some supplies?
He is a coward, that's why I find him useful.
Now just hold on.
Or
I
useless.
never voted to take on the powder gangers. That's 1,000.
Barter 25.
You made your point. I can provide people with some leather armor and extra. And I'll be guarding the store while all this is going on. I have to put my business first. You understand.
Yeah, whatever.
Take it.
Fuckface. He gives you free armor and free ammo. Or at least free armor. I'm not sure about the ammo. You can go up to Doc. Oh, I forgot about Easy Pete. How could I forget Easy Pete? Don't forget Easy Pete, or he becomes...
Difficult Pete.
Howdy.
I hear you got some dynamite.
Too dangerous. Won't kill all yourselves if I let you touch it. Better to leave it buried. Safer that way.
Yeah, but I have explosives 25.
Uh-huh. Guess you know what you're doing. I'll go dig it up and get it ready. You'll have it by the time the fighting starts. Bad trouble. Welcome.
Alright. Then we go to Doc, who will give us some extra supplies. We just gotta make sure that Ringo lives, so he gives me a free caravan deck, which is the regular deck, but I'll show you guys how to play caravan correctly. But, having a seat.
Welcome back. I had hoped.
The town's gonna be attacked.
Seems like wherever I go, it's always the same. Folks just never leave each other alone. Oh, I'm not much good in a fight with my bum leg. And my supplies are scarce, but I'll give you what I can spare.
There we go, 3 stim packs. Goodbye.
You take care.
Let me just go talk to Ringo real quick. Hey, Ringo.
So what's going on?
Sonny's with us.
Well,
let's get some
right.
tactical quick save.
What's the plan? Are we ready? Oh.
Time to look alive. The powder gangers are here to play. At least 6. Joe Cobb included. They look pretty mean.
Let's go.
Oh, Easy Pete came through with the dynamite. Here's your supply. I really hope I don't blow myself up. I'll be set up near the store. Let's hope that the gang doesn't manage to make it that far.
I don't really like the dynamite, but let's put on some. Let's put on the lightweight leather armor. The lightweight metal armor will be more protective, but they don't really focus on you in this fight. Armor rifle. 10mm pistol's pretty good. Single shotgun's good. Grenade rifle I want to save for scarier opponents. Yeah, I got more ammo for the armor rifle anyway. Let's do this. Gunfight at the Good Spring Saloon. Ooh, a bit of weird stuttering. If you want, you can actually go over here. Get a sneak shot on one of them. Oh shit, they're getting closer. Let's get this one. No, don't die, Ringo. Where you going, Cobb? You dead? He's dead. Yeah, idolized.
I owe you a huge favor for this. Here, these are I'll stick around for a bit.
Give me that.
Thanks again for all your help.
What are the rules of Caravan?
It's a 2-player game, and the winner takes the whole pie. You build a caravan using the cards in your deck. The goal is to create caravan bids that beat your opponent's bids. So there's more strategy than luck involved.
Doubt.
It's why you won't see caravan in any casino. Too slow-paced. And more importantly, no house edge. Here, take this holotape.
We're not gonna listen to that.
So.
Yeah, let's play. I want to do an auto match. Accept. Have a couple aces just in case. But the lower deck is all your cards. The upper deck is all the cards you're going to be using. This early in the game, you're going to want basically 3 through 10. Your jacks. We're going to skip the queens. I don't care about them. Kings. We're going to skip the jokers. Now we can play. It is not that difficult. All you got to do is put a card here. Put a card here. Your highest cards first. Boom. And all you're going to do is you're going to double that with the king. The king doubles the value. And you want to go down 1. Here's a 9. You want to go over to here. All you're trying to do is get each of your 3 stacks up to between 21 and 26. No higher than 26 before the opponent does. And jacks, they remove things. So I can just remove his king real quick. Now he has 9 less. Or a lot less. So we're going to go with that. Oops. I'm going to go with a 3 here. 9 here. Oops. Let's go with the king. I'm going to add 8 to this. Bam. You win. It's not that hard. I know a lot of people don't like reading it. A lot of people don't like playing it. It is the best way to make money early game. You can actually continuously rob him of his money too doing that. But first, we're going to rob some corpses. Bottle cap. You don't really need the powder ganger stuff or the cleaver. I could sell all of it. Here's what I wanted. 357. Now we're a real cowboy. Take all that. Hello, Joe Cobb. He's also got 357. I think the other guy picked it up after he died. Stealth boy. I'm gonna grab that guy here in a sec. He's got his cowboy hat. Single shotgun. We're gonna repair that. Apparel. Guard armor, plain outfit. Fix all that. I'm gonna run over. I'm gonna probably do a skip of this. Do be careful actually repairing your hats, especially pre-war hats, because you can accidentally use this to repair it. And I don't like doing that. I hate it. I like collecting things because I'm a filthy pack rat. So that's just what I'm gonna do. Now we're looking cowboy-like. Yeah. It's a really shitty looking revolver, to be honest. Come on, chat. Got shit to sell you.
That was a hell of a fight.
Yeah, well,
Damn, dude.
there's literally no in-game function that makes that worse for you. So I'm going to sell you the baseball bat because I don't care for melee. I'll sell you all the dynamite because I don't really use a whole lot of explosives. I'll sell you the cleaver, the knife. Keep the rest of this. I'm going to use the throwing spears, but we're going to keep it. Actually, you know what? There's more of these. I'm going to sell them, whatever. I'm going to do plain outfit. Don't care for that. Reading glasses, swamp gambler hat. And now we got a decent amount of caps. What else do you have? Have you renewed your... No, you haven't renewed anything. Oh well.
Give me a shout if you need anything else.
Thanks.
Take it easy now.
Alright. So to recap, we have completed all of the intro sequence. We got into our first major gunfight. We are now idolized by the town of Good Springs, and we're looking pretty damn cowboy-like. So this has been the Real Regal Eagle, and we'll follow up again with the adventures of Teddy, and we'll see where we go from there. Alright, have a good one.